I wrote them all in letters, 100 I'm sorry notes. For my sharp tongue, my quiet nights, for sailing separate boats. I listed every failure, every time I missed the mark. I wrote until the pages bled their meaning in the dark. I didn't send a single one, they sat there in a stack, a monument to all the things I wished I could take back. But sorry is a currency that's worthless after war, and sending them to you would just be opening a door to nothing. So I made apologies and ashes in the fireplace last night. I watched the flames turn all my sorries into feathery light. They curled in black and words like pride and fear, and I was wrong. Became a silent rise and smoke, a melancholy song. It was a funeral for my guilt, a burning of the proof that I was ever less than perfect in the palace of our roof. These apologies and ashes are the only ones you'll get. The air is clear now, and my heart is heavy with regret. That's mine alone. The smoke alarm went off, a sharp, accusing, blaring sound. I fanned it with a magazine on the ashen ground, a fitting and a little drama for my private one-act play of how I tried to sorry all our problems away. Maybe some things can't be fixed with words, however true. Maybe the only sorry left is the one I make to me and you, as concepts as the ghosts of what we thought we'd always be, a joint apology to the us that ceased to be. So I made apologies and ashes in the fireplace last night. I watched the flames turn all my sorries into feathery light. They curled in black and words like pride and fear, and I was wrong. Became a silent rise and smoke, a melancholy song. It was a funeral for my guilt, a burning of the proof that I was ever less than perfect in the palace of our roof. These apologies and ashes are the only ones you'll get. The air is clear now, and my heart is heavy with regret. That's mine alone. The ashes cool, the grand silent pool. My apologies are through. All that's left is what's true. We built it stone by patient stone across a troubled stream, a way to reach each other, to fulfill a shared dream of connection. It was sturdy, it was beautiful and strong, the place where we would meet when everything felt wrong. But then we started leaving things, old grievances and dread, like kindling in the arches, by the path where we would tread. We didn't clear them out, we let the dry rot set inside, until the very structure held the poison we denied. And we both burned the bridge with matches made of spite and pride. You from your side and I from mine, with nowhere left to hide. We watched the flames meet in the middle, a furious golden kiss, consuming every promise, every long for future bliss. We didn't even try to put the raging fire out. We just stood on our separate banks and gave a desperate shout into the heat. We both burned the bridges, no one else to blame. A mutual, slow suicide of a passion turned to flame. Now the water rushes where the crossing used to be, a wide and wild barrier between you and me. The stones are black and fallen moss will cover them in time. A monument to love that turned into a perfect crime. Maybe some loves aren't meant to last, but to teach you how to build, and then more painfully to show you how to kill the thing you made together with your own two willing hands, to understand the fiercest fire that a human heart commands. Shout into the heat. We both burned the bridges, no one else to blame. A mutual, slow suicide of a passion turned to flame. Ashes in the water, no crossing back, just the memory of what we lived. The bridge we both burned. We drew them on napkins, on receipts, on the foggy glass. Plans for a porch, for a garden, for a future that would last. The floor plan of a cottage, a sketch of a treehouse fort, a detailed map of happiness, our favorite kind of sport. We kept them in a shoebox, a treasure trove of when the architectural renderings of where we live and met. We'd add a wing for laughter, a room for quiet times. We inked our dreams in pencil and walked those paper walks. But I'm burning our blueprints tonight, out in the backyard fire, watching the flames lick over every single dream and desire. The porch curls into lashes, the garden turns to smoke. Disembark, final ending to the future we once spoke into existence. The heat upon my face feels like a cool release from the prison of potential to the reality of peace. I'm burning our blueprints. We'll build a different house, and these paper promises are just haunting my mind now. The last one to go is the treehouse, silly and profound, for the kids we never had on that never purchased ground. It blackens at the edges, the ladder, then the rail, and I feel a strange and sudden likeness, like I've set myself a sail. You can't live in a blueprint, you can't hang your heart on a sketch. Reality has walls and links and lessons that will etch into your bones. Maybe the fire is a phoenix in its way, clearing the land for something real I'll build someday. But I'm burning our blueprints tonight, out in the backyard fire, watching the flames lick over every single dream and desire. The post curls into ashes, the garden turns to smoke, the symbolic final ending to the future we once spoke into existence. The heat upon my face feels like a cruel release from the prison of potential to the reality of peace. I'm burning on blueprints, 'cause you built a different house, and these paper promises are just haunting my mind now. Ashes to ashes, dreams to dust, from weed and lust, move on and trust the empty earth. The empty You took the furniture, the clothes, the obvious physical things, but you left your shadows lingering in sunbeams and door rings. The lonely shadow you cast cooking at the stove, the shorter evening shadow when you'd finally remove your day that etched in light and memory on every wall and floor. A gallery of absences I can't ignore. I find them in the morning, stretched across the wooden stair. The shape your head would make upon the pillow on your chair. They don't need you to be present, their imprints negative space. The only part of you I'm allowed to still embrace. So I'm collecting your shadows, trying to hold them in my hands. These dark and fleeting portraits of the man who understands. Nothing of my longing they're made of, nothing made of light, but they're the truest version of you that I can't get back. I chase them with my camera, a futile, desperate art, trying to pin the darkness to the walls of my own heart. I'm collecting your shadows, but they fade with every hour. You can't build a home out of borrowed light and power. At noon they're small and pooled around where your feet used to stand. At dusk they stretch and threaten to take over all land. They're a living, breathing timeline of our dying daily light, a beautiful and cruel reminder of the night. Maybe this is the final stage of grief. They never taught not anger or acceptance, but a haunting loving thought that even emptiness is form, that even gone can cast a line and tie you to the memory of a love that was once mine. So I'm collecting your shadows, trying to hold them in my hands. These dark and fleeting portraits of the man who understands. Nothing of my longing they're made of, nothing made of light, but they're the truest version of you that I can't get back. I chase them with my camera, a futile, desperate art, trying to pin the darkness to the walls of my own heart. I'm collecting your shadows, but they fade with every hour. You can't build a home out of borrowed light and power. The sun moves on, the shadows are gone. I'm left in the flat, even light of a life that's only mine. It wasn't a clean no, a door slammed in my face. It wasn't my right now, a lingering soft grace. Or maybe when the timing's better, when the stars realign, the hook that kept me hopeful on a very fragile line. You left me with a loophole, a crack of fading light, a possibility to cling to in the middle of the night. Maybe in the springtime, maybe when I'm free, a thousand little maybes that you sprinkle just for me. And I'm haunted by maybe the ghost of what could be. It's so much harder than I never. Don't you see? It never has a funeral. We bury it in me, but a maybe never dies. It just goes right to sleep and wakes you up at 3 a.m. with a whisper and a sigh. What if things were different? What if you just tried? torture with no end. I watched for signs and everything, the text, a changed profile pic, a breadcrumb you might drive to see if I am still sick. With hope I analyze the silence, the space between your words, trying to decipher signals from the most absurd. I have to be the one to kill it, to pronounce the maybe dead, to take your bag and jump to live and make it never instead. It's a self-inflicted surgery to cut the potential out, but living in the limbo is what true despair's about. And I'm haunted by a baby, the ghost of what could be. It's so much harder than I never. Don't you see? Never has a funeral. You bury it and weep. What a maybe never dies. It just crawls right to sleep and wakes you up at 3 a.m. with a whisper and a sigh. What if things were different? What if you just try? I'm haunted by a baby, and you hold the other end, and maybe with no deadline is a torture with no end. I'm writing the ending, never full stop. My heart can finally drop. Goodbye, maybe. You call me by a name once, in a moment of half sleep. A slip so small and innocent, a secret you couldn't keep. I froze there in the darkness, felt my heart turn into lies. You mumbled an apology, but it didn't suffice. Explain the certain music, you get quiet in the dark. A city you said you hated, but always wanted to see more. The way you look at Lily with a complicated side. Now I had the answer to the question in your eyes. I'm not hurt, I'm just a placeholder, the second choice, the echo of the love you lost, the substitute voice I'm fighting with the ghost, a terrific memory. come to know. I started trying harder to learn the things she knew, to like the art she liked, to see the world her view. Pathetic little puppet on a string, your regret, a living, breathing monument to what you can't forget. But a heart started a parsing. You can't just move through loading and paint over the stains where the old one's blood has been. The foundation's cracks for anyone who wears it high. You see, and I was just a tenant paying rent to be not me. I'm not her, and I'm just the placeholder, the second choice, the echo of a love you lost, the substitute voice. I'm fighting with a ghost, a partly polished memory, and every victory I win is just a loss for me. 'Cause I can't be who you're longing for. I can't rewrite your past. I'm just the one who's here now. But I know last time I heard, so I'll evict myself, clear the shelf, and let you live with your ghost by yourself. And that's my power. So I'll evict myself. And that's my power. And that's my You called me by name. And that's my power. You called me by her name once. You called me by you called me by your name once. You called me by me by. It's hanging in my closet still, a splash of floral bright, a memory of sunshine and of soft forgiving light. I wore it to the farmer's market, where you bought me peach and plum. I wore it when we danced barefoot until the morning come. It smells like sunscreen, still like the bonfire on the beach, like the final perfect summer that was always out of reach. But holding on so tightly, I tried it on last week. The cotton felt the same, but something else was bleak. 'Cause it's last summer's dress and last summer's love is dead. The colors are alight now, a story in my head. The fabric holds the imprint of your hands around my waist, of a future that was blooming but was never meant to be chased. It's too bright for this winter, too hopeful for the spring. It's a costume for a person who believed in everything. It's last summer's dress and I can't bear to wear it now. It's a beautiful reminder of the why and how. Maybe I should dye it black or cut it up for X, perform some transformation, remove the bragging tags. But that feels like a violence, a murder of the past. So it hangs there like a question, a beautiful contrast. Maybe one day it'll just be a dress, a piece of cloth I own, and the memories will soften to a sentimental tone. But for now it's a flag for a country that no longer stands, a vibrant cotton ghost in my closet's quiet lands. 'Cause it's last summer's dress and last summer's love is dead. The colors are alive now, a story in my head. The fabric holds the imprint of your hands around my waist, of a future that was blooming but was never meant to be chased. It's too bright for this winter, too hopeful for the spring. It's a costume for a person who believed in everything. It's a last summer's dress and I can't bear to wear it now. It's a beautiful reminder of the why and how. Maybe next summer I'll buy a new one, a different color, under a different sun. But this one hangs a silent floral yes to last summer's dress. Our song was never written in a bright or major scale. It had a blue note in it, a melancholy way. Right from the very intro, there was a haunting sweet unrest, a bittersweet progression that was never like the rest. We danced to it in shadows, we hummed it in the rain. We found the beauty in the sadness, in the pleasure and the pain. It wasn't happy clappy, it was deep and it was true. A complicated harmony, I built my world around with you. We were loving a minor key, a beautiful sad sound, where the resolution you're aching for is never quite found. It's haunting and it's gorgeous, it gets under your skin, but it's a hard tune to live in. It's a house that's too thin to keep out the cold. We reveled in the bittersweet, the gray, until the minor key became the only way to play. We were loving a minor key, and in the end it seems you wanted something brighter, a song of major dreams. Now you're with someone sunny, who only knows the cheer of chords that don't have questions, that don't invite a tear. And I'm still in the minor, composing on my own, a solo piece for heartache in a melancholy tone. Maybe some hearts are built for the flats in the sevens, for the music of almost heavens, and others need a marching band, a bold and simple beat, a love that's easy on the feet and not so deep and fleet. We were loving a minor key, a beautiful sad sound, where the resolution you're aching for is never quite found. It's haunting and it's gorgeous, it gets under your skin, but it's a hard tune to live in. It's a house that's too thin to keep out the cold. We reveled in the bittersweet, the gray, until the minor key became the only way to play. We were loving a minor key, and in the end it seems you wanted something brighter, a song of major dreams. My heart plays in minor, a soloist and a lonely assigner, love in a minor key, forever part of me. Tell the story at the bar now, with a sad and knowing smile. Remember those two, they walked that extra mile. They've smoothed out all the edges, the fights, the ugly tears, and polished up the highlight over years and years. We become a local legend. What a shame and such a loss, a monument to passion, nailed upon a cross of time. They don't recall the silence or the taxes left unpaid, just the dramatic final scene, the foundation that we laid. Our love turned to life, a beautiful stark myth. The truth has been edited, the painful pictures kiss and kin to something grander. We're a cautionary tale, or a romance for the ages, depending on the eld. They've made us into symbols, not too flawed, breaking hearts. They've given us an ending, assigned us separate parts in a place of our youth. I hear it from a stranger, a version of my life. They cast me as the tragic queen, not as the ex-wife who fought about the dishes. They've given us a glow, a tragic, lovely halo that I didn't even know. Maybe this is how we live on when the feeling's truly dead. Not in hearts, but in the stories that are generously spread by those who watch from sidelines, who craved a love that bold and turned our messy failure into a pot of fool's gold. The truth has been edited, the painful pictures kith and kin to something grander. We're a cautionary tale or a romance for the ages, depending on the ill. They've made us into symbols, not too flawed, breaking hearts. They've given us an ending, assigned us separate parts in a place the story walk. It has nothing to do with me anymore. Our love is Lord. Is Lord. You fit me in on Tuesdays between the gym and work. A slot you carved out carefully, a personalized quirk. You knew my coffee order, you knew my favorite spot. A perfect practice ritual, a love that hit the spot. It was comfortable and easy, a part of your routine, like brushing teeth or checking emails, a familiar tidy scene. I thought it was a foundation, you thought it was a groove, a pleasant pattern, something that you'd eventually remove. I was your but I was your habit, a comfort reflex, something you did without much thought to see what would come next. You didn't fight for me, you didn't ache or sweat or yearn. You just got used to having me until you chose to turn. The page of habit can be broken with a little will, you see. A new resolution for a new improved you to be. I was your love, but I was your habit, and that's a colder thing, to be a creature of routine, another diamond ring. You broke it clean, the experts say it takes 3 weeks or so to ditch an old behavior, to finally let it go. You must be free and clear now, living habitless and new. While I'm a phantom limb, your Tuesday afternoons once new. Maybe I made it too easy, too predictable, too neat. A scheduled dose of dopamine that was too discreet. I should have been a hurricane, a risky wild bet, not just the safest habit that you ever managed to get. I was your love, but I was your habit, a comfort reflex, something you did without much and with a little will, you see a new resolution for a new improved you to be. I was your love, but I was your habit, and that's a colder thing, to be a creature of routine and not the diamond ring. Tuesdays are wide open now. I'm learning how to break my habit of you. A harder task, it's true. I found a box of letters, your handwriting from 19, ages full of passion, of a love so fierce and clean. You wrote about my laughter, about the way I think. It felt like reading fiction with a missing vital link. Because the man who wrote these words with such adoring fiery grace is not the man who left here with a cold and vacant face. The man in these old pages is a vibrant living soul, a stranger that I used to know, who made me feel so whole. And now I have this portrait of a stranger on my shelf, a ghost of who you were before you lost your sense of self. You loved me with a wildness that you later self-forgot. He's the man that I still miss, the man that you were not. I'm mourning two departures, the leaving of your frame and the earlier, more tragic death of your passionate flame. This portrait of a stranger is my most treasured grief. It's the proof that what we had was ever real. Sometimes I look at you now, in a picture someone posts, and search that stranger's eyes for the man who loved me most. But he's gone, he's buried in the past, beneath the years in pride. And I'm left here with his letters and the part of me that died. Maybe we all change so much we become someone brand new, and love is just a season that the old version of you spent with the old version of me. And when we both evolved, the love was solved into a mystery that couldn't be resolved. And now I have this portrait of a stranger on my shelf, a ghost of who you were before you lost your sense of self. You loved me with a wildness that you later self-forgot. He's the man that I still miss, the man that you are not. I'm mourning two departures, the leaving of your frame and the anger, more tragic death of your passionate flame. This portrait of a stranger is my most treasured grief. It's the proof that what we heard was ever real and brief. Goodbye to you, and goodbye to him too. Two ghosts in my room, portraits in the gloom. Found my old journal from the year we met. The pages fed with happiness, not a single fret. Your name is everywhere in hearts It's in bubble script, a joyful looping testament to how my heart was gripped. But in the later chapters, the ink begins to change. The letters get more jagged, the margins feel deranged. And then on one stark entry from a cold November night, I see where I tried to write you and then scratched you out with spite. A scratched out name on paper, a furious black cloud, where love's sweet calligraphy was once so soft and proud. I pressed the pen so hard I nearly tore right through the sheet, trying to write your existence, make my history complete without you. But the ghost remains beneath the frantic crossing lines, a shadow of a love that once was reading between the signs. A scratched out name, it's just a confession of the pain. The more you try to erase it, the more it will remain. I trace the groove you left there where the paper's damaged weak, a valley of emotion so desperate and so bleak. I can still make out the letters, the curve of the J, the N, a monument to the moment when I knew we couldn't win. Maybe I should burn the book, commit it all to flame, but the scratched out name feels like the truest of my name. It's the record of the fracture, the exact atomic breath, where adoration turned to anger and anger turned to death. A scratched out name on paper, a furious black cloud, where love's sweet calligraphy was once so soft and proud. I pressed the pen so hard I nearly tore right through the sheet, trying to unwrite your existence, make my history complete without you. But the ghost remains beneath the frantic crossing lines, a shadow of a love that once was reading between the signs. A scratched out name, it's just a confession of the pain. The more you try to erase it, the more it will remain. I close the book, the name is sealed, a wound that never healed, scratched out but still revealed. Quiet in this apartment is a physical thick thing. It presses on my eardrums, makes the telephone not ring. It's not a peaceful silence, not a calm or gentle hush. It's the vacuum after violence, a terrifying rush of nothing done into nothing. A new sound starts to grow, a high, thin, distant wailing that only I can know. It's not outside my window, it's inside of my own head. The sirens in the silence for the love that's lying dead. These are the sirens in the silence, screaming what we lost. A desperate, unseen ambulance for a love that paid the cost. They're not coming to save us, there's no rescue on the way. They're that the end is here. I turn on fans and TVs and play music through a speaker, trying to drown the frequency of my heart growing weaker. But it finds a way to pierce through a needle in the noise, a signal from the shipwreck of all our former joys. Maybe one day the battery will die, the alarm will cease, and the silence will just be a silence offering a release. But for now the sirens cycle on and on and on, and all that the heart's emergency is permanent. A building's gonna fall. Constant sad reminder that the end is here. We'll feel the siren's tale. In the silence I am jailed. First goodbye was tiny, I noticed at the time. You didn't kiss me waking, said your head hurt, said the rhyme was off the second goodbye. Was a cancelled weekend plan, a rain shite that just blew away like dust across the land. They build in quiet crescendo, these small departing notes. The goodbye in your eyes when I still try to kiss your throat. The goodbye in the laundry you forgot to bring upstairs. A symphony of goodbyes composed of silent stares. It was a symphony of goodbyes played in a minor key, each movement a subtraction. Oh, what do you want of me? The strings were our old conversations, playing thread by thread. The percussion was the slamming of the dreams inside my head. The brass was your excuses, loud and blaring, sharp and cold. The woodwinds were the stories that I never got told. It was a symphony of goodbyes and the final thundering chord. It was the silence after you walked out, and I was left alone with the Lord of nothing. I can still hear echoes of it in the empty hall, a lingering vibration in the quiet of my fall. A melody of absence that I now must call my own. A symphony for one heart sitting on a single phone. Maybe love doesn't started with the photos, taking them out of the frames. Not a dramatic burning, just erasing our old names from the narrative of the living room. And it was the books we'd share, dividing them in piles with a methodical cold care. I'm unscrewing the towel bars we installed that sweaty day when we were playing house and everything was play. Each removed screw is a tiny metal punctuation mark in the sense of our ending, in the closing of the dark. I'm tearing down the earth, brick by sentimental brick. It's a demolition project that is making me so sick, but necessary. I'm the wrecking ball, an architect of a future that is so low that I struggle to respect. Each shared possession sorted into yours and mine, and trash is a piece of our foundation, turn to meaningless ash. I'm tearing down the earth and the dust gets in my eyes. It's the only way to build a me beneath these empty skies. The final thing will be the bed, the kingdom we once ruled. I'll take it apart with aching hands, feeling like a fool, forever thinking plywood and a mattress could be home, but it's the last stronghold of us where we were not alone. They say to build something new, you have to clear the space, but no one warns you that the clearest thing you'll face is the ghost of every laugh that bounced off every wall as you carefully, so carefully prepare for the fall. I'm tearing down the earth, brick by sentimental brick. It's a demolition project that is making me so sick, but necessary. I'm the wrecking ball, an architect of a future that is so low that I struggle to respect. Each shared possession sorted into yours and mine, and trash is a piece of our foundation, turn to meaningless ash. I'm tearing down the earth and the dust gets in my eyes. It's the only way to build a me beneath these empty skies. A pile of doubt on the floor. Us is no more. You hug me at the doorway, a textbook tight embrace, your arms around my shoulders, your chin above my face. The phone was perfect practice, the mimic of the real, but your heart was on a satellite and mine was left to feel. The gap that bench, a winter air between our collarbones. The way your hands just lightly pressed as if they were just stones. Resting on my back, a hug that's just geometry is the loneliest place that a body can ever be. That was the distance in a hug, the miles in an inch. The moment that I realized we were standing in a pinch of time. I felt your body was a familiar hollow shell, a museum of a feeling. You were no longer in a cell. I could feel you leaving even as you held me near. A premonition whispered in the shell shock of my ear. That was the distance in a hug, the beginning of the end, when a touch becomes a message that you can no longer send. I've hugged since then, of course I have, with friends, with family, and felt the warmth transfer, the honest chemistry. But your last hug is the blueprint for a heartbreaking deceit, a performance of a closeness that was obsolete. They say the body doesn't lie, it speaks in subtle shifts in temperatures and pressures and emotion on her lips. And mine was screaming stay, while yours was whispering gone. A silent conversation as the evening drew on. There was a distance in a hug, the miles in an inch. The moment that I realized we were standing in a pinch of time. I felt your body was a familiar hollow shell, a museum of a feeling. You were no longer in a cell. I could feel you leaving even as you held me near. A premonition whispered in the shell shock of my ear. There was a distance in a hug, the beginning of the end, when a touch becomes a message that you can no longer send. Arms with, hearts with, the space in which our love just quit. The distance in a hug. We tied it on the sailboat with the sunset in our eyes. A simple, sturdy sailor's knot beneath the deepening skies. You said it would secure us through any kind of weather, a bond that wouldn't falter if our sails got worn in leather. And for a while it held us through choppy seas and gales. We'd check in now and then, sure that true love never fails, at least not at its binding. We trusted in the twist, the elegant, strong promise of your fist within my fist. But the knot came undone, not with a snap, but with a slow, sad slide. One thread of silence loosening, with nothing left to hide. The friction lessened daily, the tension went slack. A gradual unraveling we could never get back. It didn't break from storm force, it just ceased to be. The fibers of our trust lost their elasticity. The knot came undone, and there was no dramatic sound, just two separate pieces of rope lying on the ground. I picked it up this morning, the limp and lifeless string, a meaningless shape now, not a promise of a thing. I try to retire from memory. My clumsy fingers fumbled over the ghost of where your hands had once so surely humbled. The fiber's into union, but you can't retire not with only one in willing, with one heart too hard with regret. Maybe some knots are meant for temporary things, for securing cargo or the hope that morning brings. And the forever knots are myths told by the young and brave, before they learn how time and tide will always find the way to wear it down. But the knot came undone, not with a snap, but with a slow, sad slide. One thread of silence loosening, with nothing left to hide. The friction lessened daily, the tension went slack. A gradual unraveling we can never get back. It didn't break from storm force, it just ceased to be. The fibers of our trust lost their elasticity. The knot came undone, and there was no dramatic sound, just two separate pieces of rope lying on the ground. Two strands, no plan, just sand in the hand. The knot is undone. I thought it was a gift, you see, wrapped in vows and time, something that was fully, finally mine, to keep and hold and polish, a permanent display. But I misunderstood the contract that you made that day. You were just the lender, and I was just the lease. My happiness the interest, giving you your peace of mind. You offered me a temporary stay in the mansion of your affection, but you never meant to convey the deed. It was the love you lent me, not the love you gave, along with an expiry date that you someday save yourself from. I was just a holding place, a trusted cozy bank for feelings you withdraw when you rose in rank and needed something new. I built my home inside a rental space and decorated with a permanent hopeful grace. It was the love you lent me, and when you called it due, you left me with the emptiness and the debt of missing you. Now I'm in collections, my heart a repossessed sad thing, remembering the joy that your transient love would bring. I'm defaulted on the memories, I can't make the payments now of what we were and how you look, and your hand upon my brow. Next time I'll read the fine print, I'll ask to see the terms. I'll look for words like forever that truly brightly burn. Not for now, or this feels good, or let's just see. I wanna love this ownership, not alone that's lent to me. It was the love you lent me, not the love you gave, along with an expiry day. Did you someday save yourself from I was just a holding place, a trusted cozy bank for feelings you withdraw when you rose in rank. I needed something new, I built my home inside a rental space and decorated with a permanent hopeful grace. It was the love you lent me, and when you called it due, you left me with the emptiness and a debt of missing you. Final notice, paid in full with tears. The love you lent has compounded my fears. I speak in single pronouns now, solitary I. My plans, my thoughts, my solitary pie. It's a grammatical adjustment, a shift inside my mouth to navigate a world that's pointed only south. But sometimes in a moment of pure unguarded grace, we will slip right out and hover in the space between the checkout clerk and me. We used to love this brand, and for a second I am holding your ghost hand. And I miss the we that was, the plural cozy sound, the unit that we built on this unsteady ground. We should go there, we believe we'll figure it out. The most beautiful pronoun without a single doubt. Now I is so expensive and so terribly small, echoing in empty rooms and bouncing off the wall. I miss the we that was. It's a country that dissolved, a language that's evolved and left me unresolved. Practicing the singular like scales upon a key, trying to make the me sound strong and bold and free. But it rings a little hollow, like a note that's slightly flat compared to the harmony of where we were at. Maybe we is just a temporary state, a merging of the streams, a beautiful collision of two separate dreams. And when the currents part again, you're left with just your own, a little wider maybe, but essentially alone. And I miss the we that was, the plural cozy sound, the unit that we built on this unsteady ground. We should go there, we believe we'll figure it out. The most beautiful pronoun without a single doubt. Now I is so expensive and so terribly small, echoing in empty rooms and bouncing off the wall. I miss the we that was. It's a country that dissolved, a language that's evolved and left me unresolved. We were as I jumped there in the land of might and could. You'd spent a golden future that felt so damn good. What if we bought a sailboat? What if we moved to Spain? A beautiful distraction from our present mundane pain. I get swept up in the dreaming and the glitter of the then we played imaginary gardens. Again and again it was a drug, a sweet escape from Bill's silent muse, from the rotting of the foundation that your what ifs concealed. Will you love the what if more than you love the what is here? The fantasy was always better, always crystal clear, while I hear love had wrinkles and laundry on the floor. Your what ifs were pristine behind a bolden door. You were a poet of potential, a bard of the not yet, and I was just the setting for a song that had excelled on a dream. You were your favorite. What if always just ahead? And I was the what is you finally left for dead. Now I hear you bought a ticket. You're actually going to Rome, and now to what if in a brand new shiny home. And I'm stuck with the what was, the reality you fled, the ghost of all the what ifs living in my head. Maybe some people are born, they chase the horizon's light, and others are born to build a home to the right. And when a dreamer loves a builder, the endings preassigned. One stays with the blueprint, the other leaves it all behind. But you love the what if more than you love the what is here. The fantasy was always better, always crystal clear. All real bad wrinkles and laundry on the floor. Your lips were pristine behind your golden door. You were a poet of potential, a boy of the not yet, and I was just a setting for a sign that hadn't set on a dream. You were your favorite what if, always just a